What's going on, guys? Michael here, and in this video I want to talk about this week's top stock picks. And before we jump into that, let's go ahead and take a look at our 1 month P&L. So if we head over to our account, we head over to our 1 month P&L, you can see our 1 month realized P&L is $6,200.48. So far we are having a very good month. Let's go ahead and take a look at Invesco QQQ Trust. All right, so today markets rallied on QQQ, and we're almost touching those previous all-time highs from this year. As you can see, our previous all-time highs were 540, and we hit a high of 535 and 37 cents. So in the after hours, markets for Invesco QQQ Trust are trading at 530 and 45 cents. But as you can see here, QQQ is approaching that top Bollinger Band, and if we look on the 1 day time frame on our RSI is at 65.60. So yes, we are approaching those overbought levels, but we're not overbought just yet. I do want to note that with all the negative sentiment in the market is still going up. Some people might think that is irrational, that is delusional, but there is a saying in the market that the markets can stay irrational longer than you can remain solvent. And that's true here, right? Because we can see war going on between Iran, Israel, and the US, as well as Ukraine, Russia, Taiwan, China, India. We got the tariffs, we got the inflation, we got a lot of things going on right now, the bond yields. And even though we have all those negative catalysts, I am still, for one, overall bullish on the market long term, but there is still some things to be wary of. So I usually like to approach the market a little safer in times like this of uncertainty. So that's why I've been doing a 60-40 split where I'm allocating 60% of my cash into the markets and then holding 40% of my cash just in case we have another flash crash like we've seen previously. So that way I could take advantage of those dips. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and talk about the 3 stocks that I've been trading this week. And those stocks are ASTS, CRCL, and AIRO. CRCL and AIRO are both fairly new IPO companies. I mean, AIRO literally just IPO'd last week. But I did make a little bullet point checklist, so let's gonna go over that so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so my top stocks. Number 1, of course, is ASTS. I've made a video on ASTS before, around 3 weeks ago, when it was trading at around $22, and it did hit a high of $42.93. It is an absolute beast, and I'm very excited for the company long term. Let's get into this. So technical, breakout, and institutional conviction. ASTS Space Mobile recently surged to an intraday all-time high near 41.13, well above both its 50 and 200-day moving averages, signaling strong technical momentum. It's currently triggering a golden cross, short-term moving average above long-term moving average, often a bullish signal. Strong analyst sentiment. 6 out of 7 Wall Street analysts rate ASTS bullish. So yes, ASTS, keep an eye on it. If you haven't favored it, you haven't been watching it, do so please, because I do believe that it will hit $100 share price by Q1 of 2026. All right, next one, CRCL, aka Circle. Institutional backing and stablecoin tailwind. Circle Internet Group saw a remarkable first day IPO pop, approximately 168%, and continues to trade well off that debut, with recent surges above 14 to 19%. BlackRock purchased nearly 10% in the offering, signaling major institutional confidence, supported by favorable US/EU regulatory clarity on stablecoins. USDC is number 2 by market share with strong volume. CRCL has a strong macro fintech tailwind. Okay, so yes, I was one of the people who did purchase CRCL about a couple weeks during when they were doing the offering phase. I didn't get all my shares allocated. In fact, I only got 1 share, which was very unfortunate, but after the IPO crossing, I was able to get in around $80 a share, sell at 96, then buy again at 91, and sell at 102. And I plan on doing the same thing again this week, as it's been rallying super hard, and we'll get to that when we jump into the technicals. But for our third stock, AIRO, retail frenzy, defense demand, and a profitable growth story. AIRO's IPO exploded, doubling to approximately 140% above the $10 listing price, fueled by retail demand and heightened drone/defense interest amid global tensions. The company nearly doubled revenue in 2024 to approximately $87 million, offering some business foundation beyond hype. With $69 million in IPO proceeds, AIRO now has strong runway to expand into avionics, training, and eVTOL, positioning it as a diversified aerospace growth play. So, unfortunately, with AIRO, I didn't have a lot of confidence in it, and I didn't purchase the IPO offering, which is very unfortunate because the offering was at $10, and after the crossing, it was $12.90, and then it blasted to $34 before I decided to jump on the bandwagon, buy at $34, sell at $37, and then I did it again today. I bought at $34, sold it at $37. And then tomorrow I plan on hopefully getting it at around $28, $29, or $30, and then selling it at like $34 or $37. So we'll see what happens. But I didn't purchase AIRO during the offering phase because of what happened with Chime. I ended up losing $277 on Chime's IPO, and that kind of made me a little bit more skeptical to just jump into IPOs. But AIRO definitely is a great company, and we'll definitely be talking about that in the technicals. So let's go ahead and jump back on Webull and talk about those technicals. Of course, the first company I want to talk about is ASTS. It hit an all-time high of 42.93. It's great. It blasted through that resistance zone. And as you can see, though, we are trading above the top Bollinger Band. As you can also see on the one-day time frame on the RSI, it hit a high of around 86.97. That's very high. That's very, very, very high. So definitely it's a little scarier to be purchasing at these overbought levels, which is why, although I'm long-term bullish on the company, I do plan on going 32 days out at a strike price around 35. That's at around the top resistance zone, and I feel comfortable with that position. And I would like to get in around $35 a share. I think that's a very good strike price, as well as collect some premium. So let's go ahead and actually look at the options chain and see what that looks like, right? So if we hop on the options chain, you look at 32 days right here, July 18, 2025, and you hop over here to the strike of $35. It's paying about $1.66 times 100 shares, which is $166 divided by 35. So let's go ahead and pull that up on the calculator. We go 166 divided by 35. That gives you a 32-day return of 4.74%. That's massive returns in 32 days. That's a massive return right there. So super excited to be taking advantage of that. As well as, let's go ahead and look at these analyst ratings, right? Based on 7 analysts, it 42.86% strong buy, 42.86% buy, 14.29% hold, 0% underperform, 0% sell. We are right here on our average of 42.40 with a high of $64 for the year. That's where the goal is. That's where the aim. Like I said, I do believe that ASTS will hit $100 a share by Q1 of 2026 if it continues this bullish momentum uptrend. Okay, let's go ahead and hop into the other stock that I want to talk about, which is CRCL, and that is right here. Okay, so not a lot of information on CRCL. We don't have any information for the analysts because it just IPO'd recently. I'm actually going to lower the time frame to 30 minutes. So I have my RSI here now, my Bollinger Bands. We were trading above the top Bollinger Band, and it sold off after it hit a high of 165.60, and it's trading at 147.45 cents in the after hours, but it is below the top Bollinger Band now on the middle Bollinger Band, which is, in my opinion, a pretty good buy. But if you're someone that wants to still keep it safe and you want to trade cash secured puts, let's go ahead and do that. So let's say you want to be a little bit more aggressive with the cash secured puts. You want to go 4 days out, right? You can go 4 days out, and you can do something like, okay, I'm going to go 4 days out, and I believe a good price is 140. So 140, which is times 100 shares, that's $140 divided by 130. That's going to give you a 1.07% return in 4 days, which is solid, right? I mean, if you're someone that focuses on small, consistent gains, 1% a week isn't bad. You can make 1.07% in just 4 days with this option right here. Okay, not too much to talk about here. I am long-term bullish in it. I think it's a great company. I think it's going to do amazing things, especially with all the stuff going on in the world right now. I think USDC is a great place to kind of harbor your money. It's a safe place to do it, and CRCL is the backers behind that. Okay, great. Let's hop into AIRO. Again, not a lot of information to go off here. I'm on the 30-minute time frame. I have no analyst, predictions, no ratings. I have I don't even know what you would call this for an RSI, but the RSI is trading at around 63.77 on the 30-minute time frame. We have an all-time high of 39.07, and we actually almost touched those all-time highs today when we went to a high of 37.93. Okay, so I didn't get in on AIRO on the IPO. After the crossing, it was 12.90. It shot up. Like I said, I got in at 34, sold at 37. Again today, I got in at 34, sold at 37, and it has seemed to find a support range around $30 and is trading at 30.50 in the after hours. If I can get in at 28, 29, or $30, that is definitely a buy, and possibly sell around those levels of 34 or $37. But yeah, I mean, overall, these are my plays for this week. So this is just this week. Maybe next week it'll be different. But right now, I think CRCL and AIRO are good buys. Of course, ASTS is a great buy. I'm going to be playing the heck out of that. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Leave it down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. But thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video. If you like this and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.